Welcome to Spaceverse, your portal to cosmic adventures. Have you ever wondered what really lies in the vastness of space? There are secrets that NASA has kept from us for years. From enigmatic bases on the moon to unsettling footprints and concealed regions on Mars, NASA has engaged in activities they fear might eventually be uncovered. Recent shocking leaks are revealing the true nature of what's happening in space. What is NASA concealing from us? Let's explore startling leaked NASA images together. A recently uncovered document from 1959 highlights a troubling chapter in U.S. military history. Titled Project Horizon, this document outlines a bold and covert plan by the United States to colonize the moon. This initiative wasn't merely about exploration. It was an effort to claim the moon as if it were a territory ripe for conquest. The tale of Project Horizon unfolds during the peak of the Cold War, a time of intense tension as the U.S. faced fierce competition from the Soviet Union. The Soviets had amazed the world with their space achievements, and the U.S. was determined not to lose the race to the moon, particularly to its foremost adversary. The first nation to establish a base on the moon would gain significant power militarily, scientifically, and politically. The U.S. was resolute in becoming that nation. Project Horizon represented the boldest military proposal since World War II. The U.S. Army envisioned a manned military outpost on the moon designed to monitor Earth, conduct military operations, and serve as a launch pad for future space missions. The moon was viewed not just as a scientific interest, but as a new frontier in the struggle for dominance. However, the risks were significant. To execute such an ambitious project, the U.S. required state-of-the-art technology, rockets capable of transporting people and heavy cargo, vehicles designed to traverse the moon's challenging terrain, and sophisticated survival gear. Developing this technology proved to be a challenge, prompting the U.S. to seek assistance from a controversial source, former Nazi scientists. After World War II, while other nations were focused on uncovering treasures and hunting war criminals, the U.S. sought out Nazi rocket scientists, especially those responsible for the lethal V-2 rocket. Among them was Wernher von Braun, the chief architect of Germany's missile program. Rather than facing prosecution for his wartime actions, von Braun and his team were presented with an option: collaborate with the U.S. or confront the repercussions at the Nuremberg trials. Under von Braun's leadership, these former Nazi scientists became pivotal figures in America's pursuit of space supremacy. Von Braun was assigned the task of designing powerful rockets capable of transporting people and cargo to the moon. This marked the beginning of the development of the Saturn I and Saturn II rockets, which were technological wonders capable of producing immense thrust. The Saturn I generated 680 tons of thrust, while its successor, the Saturn II, achieved an astounding 907 tons. These rockets were engineered to deliver substantial payloads to the moon and beyond. Yet, reaching the moon was merely the first step. To build the Horizon moon base, the U.S. Army projected that it would need to launch 149 rockets to transport over 245 tons of materials. The logistics involved were immense. Between 1964 and 1966, the U.S. would need to send approximately 5 rockets to the moon each month. Even after the base was constructed, it would require an additional 64 launches just to maintain the outpost until 1967. To bring this ambitious vision to life, von Braun proposed establishing a refueling station in space. Rockets would reach orbit, rendezvous with tankers, and refuel before heading to the moon. A crew of astronauts would live aboard this orbiting station to oversee the precise refueling process. Once refueled, rockets would continue on to the moon, carrying heavy loads of equipment and personnel. The mission extended beyond rocket construction. It was about creating a livable environment on the moon. The Horizon base was designed as a network of metal tanks buried deep beneath the lunar surface to protect the crew from the moon's harsh conditions. These vacuum-sealed structures would shelter the 9-member construction team dedicated to turning the moon into a military outpost. The plan aimed for the base to be fully operational by 1966, housing 12 astronauts. Powered by nuclear reactors, the base was envisioned as a self-sustaining hub with airlocks, medical facilities, cold storage, and laboratories for scientific research. The U.S. imagined a thriving lunar base where astronauts would live and work for extended periods. Meanwhile, the Soviets had their sights set on the moon as well. By 1967, they announced their own plans for a lunar outpost, sparking the potential for a military standoff on the moon. To defend the Horizon base, the U.S. planned to deploy powerful weapons, including Claymore mines and the Davy Crockett, a rocket launcher capable of firing small nuclear bombs. On the moon, even a tiny breach in a spacesuit could be fatal, making defense a top priority. Though the idea of a lunar base was thrilling, President Dwight D. Eisenhower ultimately found Project Horizon too costly, with an estimated price of $6 billion at the time, equivalent to around $53.5 billion today. With the nation already committed to the Vietnam War, the project was deemed excessive. As ambitious as it was, Project Horizon was never realized. But what if the Soviet Union had reached the moon first and established a military base there? Mysterious moon bases. In the intense race to the moon, the United States launched 6 Apollo missions, famously culminating in Apollo 11's historic landing by Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin. Yet leaked photos suggest the astronauts may have discovered more than NASA revealed. One astronaut took some curious photos that ended up in the hands of Ken Johnston, a former NASA contractor. These images show a strange, dome-like structure on the moon, connected by smaller domes. This odd formation doesn't seem natural and hints that a secret space station might have existed on the moon before the Apollo landing. The photo was captured by chance, as the structure was mostly cloaked in darkness. The area appeared unnatural to many who saw it, suggesting something extraordinary that couldn't easily be dismissed. Ken Johnston grew even more suspicious when the program director brushed off the images, instructing him not to share them. Ken knew he had uncovered something significant. This secrecy only fueled the belief that there was more to the moon missions than the world had been told. NASA is not only withholding information about the moon, but also concealing significant details about mysterious events happening right here on Earth. Unidentified object over military base. Numerous videos and photos hint that we may not be alone, yet the space agency remains silent. On April 20, 2021, something extraordinary occurred at Camp Wilson Military Base in 29 Palms, California. 6 cameras captured the event, and 50 U.S. Marines witnessed it live. How does one explain such clear, undeniable proof of something mysterious in the skies? The most compelling footage, taken by an officer, shows a distinct triangular UFO hovering over the desert mountains with bright lights along its edges. Witnesses reported that this strange sighting lasted for 10 minutes from 8:24 to 8:30 in the evening. The dark triangle-shaped object moved slowly across the sky. At 8:29, personnel launched a flare to better illuminate the object, revealing 5 red lights on the UFO. Its massive size made it impossible to overlook. Alien presence on Mars. A stunning new image has shaken the world of space science. Even the most skeptical scientists are now questioning if the unusual circular and spiked object seen on Mars could be remains from an extraterrestrial crash site. This remarkable photo was taken during the 2022 Mars missions by NASA's Curiosity rover on its 110th day. In such extreme and unforgiving environments, it's not uncommon for crashes to occur due to technical failures. This leads to important questions. What might have caused such a failure? What were the circumstances that led to a spacecraft meeting its untimely end on the Martian surface? Furthermore, if NASA were to send astronauts into this harsh terrain with flawed or inadequate equipment, what risks would they face? This scenario emphasizes the critical need for reliability in space exploration. It raises concerns about the preparedness of missions aimed at uncovering the secrets of Mars. If malfunctioning equipment can lead to devastating consequences, what steps can be taken to ensure the safety of future astronauts exploring these mysterious landscapes? As we ponder these questions, the findings from the Curiosity rover continue to fuel speculation about what lies beneath the surface of Mars and the potential for past human or alien activities. Space equipment. While most people remember Neil Armstrong and his famous words on the moon, few recall the last man to walk on the lunar surface or his words. That man was Commander John Cernan, and during his mission, something unexpected happened that caused NASA to downplay his story. Cernan accidentally broke a fender off the lunar rover, a small but essential part meant to shield him and fellow astronaut Harrison Schmitt from the thick lunar dust kicked up by the rover. Without it, they faced serious issues. The dust wasn't merely an inconvenience. It led to equipment overheating, covering their suits, solar panels, and radiators, causing a significant problem. Apollo 17 was all about driving on the moon, and with a broken fender, Cernan grew concerned. That night, he barely slept, fearing the mission might be at risk. But Schmidt remained optimistic, reminding him that Mission Control would find a fix. And they did. Using a laminated map and duct tape, the astronauts made a temporary fender, saving the mission. What makes this story even more remarkable is that the same issue happened on Apollo 16 and Apollo 15. It seemed like a recurring problem NASA couldn't solve, yet they kept sending astronauts to the moon with these subpar rovers. Despite the challenges, Cernan and Schmidt returned home safely. The Mars rover's ongoing exploration has led it to captivating new regions, revealing wonders that extend beyond the typical geological features we might expect to find on another planet. One particularly intriguing location it has encountered is Cydonia, a 3-kilometer-wide area on Mars that has sparked both scientific curiosity and a flurry of imaginative theories among enthusiasts and researchers alike. This region is not just a patch of Martian terrain, it has become a focal point for discussions about potential ancient civilizations and extraterrestrial life. Nestled between the craters Arenduz and Bamberg, an unusual formation appeared in a photograph, resembling a human face carved into the Martian landscape. Dubbed the Face on Mars, this eerie image was first captured on July 25, 1976, by the Viking 1 spacecraft. The face sat prominently on a 1.2 kilometers long mesa at 40.75 degrees north latitude and 9.46 degrees west longitude. Although NASA initially dismissed it as an illusion caused by light and shadows, the image quickly fascinated the public. The intrigue deepened with a second image labeled 077A13, showing a similarly shaped structure, fueling the mystery even further. This discovery wasn't made by NASA scientists, but by two computer engineers, Vincent DiPietro and Gregory Molinar, who were sifting through NASA's archives. Their finding hinted at something beyond coincidence, possibly a hidden story beneath the Martian surface. Are these formations mere geological quirks, or do they hint at an ancient enigma waiting to be uncovered on Mars? Could there be man-made structures on Mars? On February 25, 2014, a remarkable event unfolded as the Mars Curiosity rover, having been on the red planet for 554 days, sent back a series of new high-resolution images of the Martian landscape. As these photos were scrutinized on Earth, observers began to notice something intriguing. Amateur archaeologists spotted what appeared to be a human-like statue located near a site called Dingo Gap. The objects resembled statues so closely that they couldn't easily be dismissed. Some theorists even suggested these might be the last vestiges of a lost civilization that perished in a catastrophic event on Mars. Could these really be the remnants of such a civilization? Proponents of ancient astronaut theories affirm this possibility. They propose that some of these artifacts could have counterparts on Earth, pointing to what appear to be pyramids, obelisks, and structures resembling Stonehenge or the Sphinx on Mars. Are these formations on Mars real and crafted by intelligent beings? While most scientists argue that this is unlikely, history has shown us the importance of remaining open to the unexpected. Water on Mars was once thought to be impossible, yet it has been confirmed. So we can't help but ask, if these structures are indeed real, who created them, and what happened to their civilization? And that's it. Thanks for joining us on this cosmic journey. From potential man-made structures on Mars to the secrets NASA may be hiding, there's so much to explore beyond our planet. Stay curious and keep looking up. Don't forget to subscribe for more discoveries. Until next time, this is Spaceverse.